So, good morning, and here I am finally to tally up our trip to Sri Lanka. It all started here that day when I said that we were heading off that evening on the Emirates flight, and basically I've got all the pricings together now. It's took me a couple of weeks because obviously with work, getting back to work and getting sorted out again. So anyway, without further ado, I'll go straight into what we spent. So the flights, as I say, with Emirates out to Sri Lanka was £1,651.56. That was obviously for two people. The hotels came in at £1,391.64, which came in at round about £93 a night. They were all with breakfast. The taxis, we went from place to place, came to £208. So that's a total of £3,251.20. While we were there, we also went to the Nawaloka Hospital, Dental Hospital in Colombo, and we had our teeth polished and cleaned, and I also had a filling. That came to £105, which we'd recommend as well, as we've done this before. We looked at round about £100 a day spending. So if you equate that into the time we were there, that would have been 1,600. So overall, it would have been £4,851.20, which works out at £2,425.60 per person. So if you actually cut that down to your flights, your meals, your spending, it's not bad when, as I say, when I initially looked into a holiday in Sri Lanka for two people, going the places where we went and staying 5-star, you'd have been talking £5,500, sorry, per person. So basically, a couple of quick points. Within the videos I said about when we were leaving from Colombo to go down to Kandy, we'd met a driver the year before, and what you've got to watch is these guys will then contact you, via WhatsApp, saying, oh, if you come back to Sri Lanka, that's fine, that's great. But one thing to look out for is I actually contacted the driver. Now, I've travelled extensively for the past 30 odd years, 35 years, so what they'll do is they'll turn around right near the death sometimes and say, listen, I can't pick you up, but I've got a friend and he'll come and pick you up. That's an absolute no-no. You see, why I also get taxis from the hotel is if you stay in 5-star hotels, 4-star hotels, in any hotel really, but in these kind of hotels, you obviously have CCTV. You also have people, concierge, who come out and speak to the drivers. They might even speak to them on your phone, which is what I actually get them to do. The site I used while we were travelling, same as Uber, is a site called Pickup in Sri Lanka. There's also one called Kangaroo. So they'd ring me. I wasn't on a Sri Lankan SIM, I was on an English SIM. They'd obviously see the number, find it was quite strange. They'd ring me and I did give it one of the staff, and then they could explain fully where we wanted to go. But also then you've got that connection with the driver and the person who you're speaking to. And it just makes things a little bit safer if you're travelling by taxis. But the taxis, all the taxis I've got in, have been fine. I've never had any issues with a taxi driver. So just, a word of warning, obviously, if you're just going to flag someone in the street, that's completely different. As I say, I use official sites and, I always get them to come to the hotel. That's one thing that I'd say. Now, the rooms that we had within this trip, I've just looked today. Today's April the 1st, and it's not April Fool's Day, by this. It's not a Fool's Day prank, this. The Gold Face, we stayed in the Junior Queen Suite the 3 nights that we stayed there, which was 2 on arrival and 1 when we returned, is £150 a night. This is as of today's prices. The Rad Hotel in Kandy is 105. The Chill Out in Ella, where we stayed for 2 nights, would be roughly around about 100. The 006, we stayed in a suite, so that'd be £200 a night. The Sea View, we stayed in a deluxe double Sea View room, is round about 105, 110 a night. and the Riff where we stayed is £200 a night. So if I'd have actually booked them now before it actually took off, the rooms would have come to £1,970. So obviously the way that we did it, we saved £578.36. You take your taxi fares from that, it comes to £370.36. You take your dental treatment out of that, it's still saving yourself £300. So you can actually do these trips, you can actually stay in the best places, and you can move around by taxis, and still it's gonna still come in at round about £4,851 is what it cost us. That was everything. That's flights, taxis, 5-star hotels, and our spending. So as I say, you know, the way of doing this, I think, and again, I've travelled extensively around the world with Jackie and also with friends, is definitely worth checking out, and it will save you money. Now our next trip we'll be doing is to Japan and Indonesia. Prior to that, we've got a mini trip. We're going over to Barcelona. We go over there on the 18th of June. Now, what I'm going to do there, because I've been in Barcelona, I've been lucky enough to be in Barcelona many times, is I'm going to actually show you our Barcelona, where we go, these are all local places and local bars, and a hotel that I'd recommend highly if you actually stay in Barcelona. So as again, if you want to subscribe to my channel, me and Jackie don't mind doing the 9 yards and going about and trying to get the deals, and obviously you'll benefit from them. If anybody wanted to contact me, contact the channel, and you know, I'll give you my words of wisdom. See you soon. Bye.